Greetings Commanders, I'm Commander Gypsum, and today I'm back with another combat video. I just read in the forums, I think, or maybe the subreddit, that the Vulture is no longer the fighter du jour. That it can no longer handle a HAZRES by itself, and that's not a little fishy to me because the Vulture is one of my favorite fighters. So I'm taking the Vulture out into a HAZRES to see how many fights I can do before I have to turn tail and head back to the station. So let's find out how well the Vulture can do.
For our first fight, a dangerous Asp Explorer.
Fight!
Alright, so you can see we've engaged our first target here, an Asp Explorer. And I'm not going to be cherry picking or anything like that. I'm going to be fighting what comes to me, but I am going to try to get a variety of ships, so we're not just fighting the same type of ship over and over again. We're going to see how it goes. So with our first fight here with the dangerous Asp Explorer, we can see it's trying to pitch around, but it's not getting anywhere, and the power plant is out. So this is turning out to be a pretty quick fight, and it looks like we're about to get the pop. Here it is. Fight number 2, a dangerous Viper Mark III.
Fight!
Okay, so the Viper Mark III is a very fast ship, and it looks like it's deploying chaff right off the bat. That's pretty smart. You definitely want to do that if a bigger ship is firing after you. So we're trying to get in a free fire mode, but the Viper's a little far out there. Alright, coming back around, we've got lock on, and it looks like the shields, he popped an SCB and the chaff at the same time, which is a smart move. But it looks like he's pretty close, so we're going to get some hits on him here. And we are using flight assist off to make some turns here. Got a little squirrely. And it looks like we're going to take down his shields on this run. Yeah, he's going too slow. Those shields are going to be down. And making another FA off turn. And just looking at his hull, doesn't look like he's using any kind of hull upgrade, so the hull's deteriorating very fast here. Let's see if we can get it on this pass. Almost with that one pass. Have to peck at him here just a little bit more, and that's gonna do it.
Target destroyed.
For our third fight, a master-rated Anaconda.
Fight!
Alright, so this is our first ship that is not dangerous rated. This one is just master. You can see point defense going off like crazy. A lot of the big ships have tons of point defense on them, so you're going to be having some tough luck if you're trying to use missiles or torpedoes or anything like that against some of these bigger ships, because point defense is out there doing its job. So you can see here it is engaged with a couple other ships, but it's just a couple small ships, so it's not going to be helping us out at all. Not like if you're in a high res when you've got security forces helping you out completely. Alright, so it looks like he's just about done. We've taken out the power plant now. So he's going to try to reboot and keep going, because that's what the NPCs do now. But I think we'll be able to finish him off before he gets his reboot. So you can see he's got some secondary explosions here, so he's about to pop. And we get the kill.
Target destroyed.
Fight number 4, a dangerous Imperial Eagle.
Fight!
Alright, so the Imperial Eagle is going to have a little bit of an advantage. They've done some enhanced engines with 2.1. So scale of 1, 2, and I believe 3 engines now have extra speed and maneuverability. So he could be a little bit more squirrely, but you can see his shield's already gone and his hull is deteriorating. So it looks like he's not putting up too much of a fight here. Now it did say an impulse attack, so he does have some kind of engineer mod, but it didn't seem to affect me. And it looks like he's done. Yep, we got the pop, and he's out. Fight number 5, a dangerous Fer-de-Lance.
Fight!
So for our 5th fight, we're looking at yet another dangerous rated pilot here. So far we've had 4 dangerous pilots and 1 master. So it looks like dangerous is the ship of the day here in our hazardous resource extraction site. And you can see here with the Fer-de-Lance, the shields are going down very quickly. Not sure exactly what's going on with this Fer-de-Lance, making some interesting maneuvers. Alright, the shields are down, and now our power distributor is also down. Unfortunate. So now we're going to be doing some flight assist off maneuvers to make sure we can keep our fer-de-lance in our sights. And you can see that I'm targeting down on the power plant, but that... Ooh, man, that was close. Alright, so our power plant is not really taking any damage here. I suspect that our fer-de-lance here has some upgraded armor. Because if you look at that armor, we're getting some solid hits, and we're not doing a whole lot of damage. Now we're getting some splashes just right on the ship. He's not deploying any chaff, so that's good for us, but he's doing some jousting here, and that's really wearing down on our shields. I can only keep 2 pips down into shields because I need that extra power for my pulse lasers. I could kind of bounce it back and forth, but when he's firing, that's when I need my shields to be the strongest, and that's also when I need power to my weapons. So power management is going to be a little bit tricky here. I have to keep 2 and 4, unfortunately. We can see he's really trying to get his jousting in, but the Vulture is maneuverable enough that we can't, or I can say he can't, get that much distance to start another joust. So it's actually a pretty close quarters joust here, but he can't get around behind us because the Vulture is so maneuverable. Now it looks like my shields are in real trouble right now. That looks like they're about to drop. Yep, there we go. Shields are offline. So now I can do a little bit of different power management. I can just do 1 to systems, so my shields will regenerate. Then I can do 1 to engines. Hopefully get a little bit more maneuverability here out of the Vulture. But he is really giving us a pounding here. We're trying to dodge plasma. And you can hear the canopy is just cracking under the strain. We're having a real tough time here against this fer-de-lance. It looks like he's using quad laser, so it shouldn't be that hard against our canopy. No, I do see some multi-cannon flashes. So he is using multi-cannon against our canopy, and that's going to be devastating. Now, if our canopy goes out, this is going to have to be the last fight of the day. Because once your canopy goes out, I mean, that's it. You're out. You have to go back to the station and repair. And it looks like that's what's about to happen. Yep, canopy is critical. If we can't finish him off at the next pass, I think our canopy is going to blow out here. And it's not looking good. His hull is just barely degrading, and we're having a real hard time here. And I am using military-grade hull, but my hull's going down pretty quickly. So it looks like the fer-de-lance really is outdoing the Vulture here. And really that is how it should be. The Vulture costs significantly less than the fer-de-lance. So really the fer-de-lance should have the upper hand here. Oh man, his shields have come back up, and now we've got a canopy breach. So this is going to be it. Our canopy is out, so now after this fight, if we can get him down, we'll have to head back to the station to repair. Because we really just can't continue our attacks out here in the HAZRES with the breach canopy. I suppose you could if you had like an A life support, because then you could have, I think it is 25 minutes or something like that, so you could get a couple more fights in. But that's not going to be happening for us because I've equipped the Delta grade life support, so that's just going to give us 8 minutes, I believe. Alright, my shields are back up, so I'm going to pump some power to my shields, so hopefully they don't drop again. He's down to 7% hull, I'm down to 27% hull. So this is getting to be actually a pretty close fight. I think we're going to be able to take him though since my shields have come back up. But his hull, whatever hull he's using, is really doing a great job for him. He might be using mirrored since I'm using lasers, and that's why I'm getting such decreased damage against him. But this looks like it's going to be it, and we get the pop, and a pretty decent payout, 225,000 credits. It's not too bad, but unfortunately that means I'm headed out because the canopy is down. So really all I got in was 5 fights in the HAZRES, and they were pretty easy fights right up to the fer-de-lance. The Asp didn't really stand too much of a chance. He didn't really do any fancy maneuvers. The Anaconda was only master rated, so we didn't see any good maneuvers out of him either. Oh, sounds like we got a little audio bug there. The ship's computer went back to normal audio instead of the canopy blowing out audio. Anyways, yeah, the Anaconda didn't put up too much of a fight, just master rated. The Viper and the Imperial Eagle, both valiant efforts, but they fell. without doing really any damage to my shields whatsoever. And the Fer-de-Lance, that was a hard fight. It wasn't that the skill of the AI was that tough. As you could see, it was really just doing some close-range jousting. It looks like the outfitting is really what changed the fight. He either had mirrored or military grade. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. 04, roger. Headed in. Yeah, so even though I had military grade, you can see my hull really took a pounding. And, yeah, he could have had that fight there if just a couple things more had gone wrong. So the Fer-de-Lance really was outfitted very, very well. So, were the posters right on the subreddit or the forums? Is the Vulture no longer a viable ship for a HAZRES? Boy, I don't know. If you want to be staying out for a half hour or an hour, no, that's... I don't think the Vulture's gonna last. We were only out there for 5 fights, and we had to head back.
Touchdown. Thrusters offline. Deploying ground services.
Alright, so let's find out how much money we made here after our repairs. Oh, that's not great. That's less than 500,000 credits for 5 fights. You know what? I don't mind having these fights being hard and sending me in early, but it would be nice to get a little bit more money. I mean, the Vulture is a premium combat vessel. You think it would be able to stay out for more than 5 fights, but I don't know. I think the Vulture is still worth it. I think it still can handle a HAZRES. But, yeah, you're not going to be staying out there for very long, and you're not going to make a lot of money, unfortunately. Alright, Commanders, that's going to wrap it up for our little HAZRES excursion today. Please stand by for some more Elite Dangerous videos. I'm definitely going to be getting out there with some more ships to see what's going to be the best ship to go HAZRES fighting. So I hope you stick around, and I'll see you, Commanders, in the black. Thanks for watching, and let me know what you thought in the comments. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to see all of my latest videos.